There is a quiet moment every morning when your life has not yet been taken from you. Your eyes open. Your body is still. The world has not entered the room. No message has demanded an answer. No headline has planted fear in your mind. No obligation has placed its weight on your chest. Then, almost without noticing, you reach for the noise. You check the phone. You remember the problem. You replay yesterday. You imagine what could go wrong. Within a few minutes, your mind no longer belongs to you. It belongs to urgency, comparison, unfinished conversations, other people's expectations and fears that have not even become real. This is how many people lose the day before they have truly entered it. They do not make a conscious decision to surrender their peace. They simply begin without direction, and a mind without direction is easily occupied. The Stoics understood this. They knew that the first battle of the day is not against the world. It is against unconscious reaction. It is the struggle to remember who you are before circumstances begin telling you how to feel. You may not control what the day brings. You may receive bad news. Someone may disappoint you. A plan may fail. Your body may feel tired. Your work may become difficult. Life may refuse to cooperate. But before any of that happens, you still possess a choice. You can decide what kind of person meets the day, not what kind of day you will have. That is not entirely yours, but what kind of mind will face it? What kind of character will respond? What kind of inner posture will remain when comfort disappears? That choice is where freedom begins. A strong morning is not about waking up at an impressive hour. It is not about a perfect routine. It is not about turning your life into a performance. It is about refusing to begin the day as a stranger to yourself. Before we go deeper, take one small action that makes this lesson real. Like this video and subscribe to El Gran Estoico. This channel exists to help you build a mind that does not collapse under pressure and a character that does not depend on comfort. Then write this phrase in the comments exactly as it appears. A partir de hoje sou uma nova pessoa. Also write the country and the city or region where you are watching from. This is not an empty gesture. A decision becomes stronger when it is expressed clearly. By writing those words, you mark a line between the person who reacts automatically and the person who begins to live deliberately. And by sharing your location, you remind everyone here that discipline, pain, renewal, and courage are not limited by borders. People across the world are fighting the same inner battle. Today, I will give you 5 sentences to use every morning. They are simple. But simple does not mean weak. Each sentence is a mental position. Each one protects a different part of your character. Together, they form a practical Stoic ritual for gratitude, emotional release, self-command, virtue, and presence. You do not need special equipment. You do not need perfect silence. You do not need to feel inspired. You only need to stop, breathe, and speak with honesty. The purpose is not to repeat words mechanically. The purpose is to train the mind until those words become conduct. A phrase changes nothing when it remains only a phrase. But when it directs attention, changes behavior, and shapes decisions, it becomes a principle. And principles, practiced daily, become character. Number 1, I am grateful to be here. The first discipline is gratitude. Not decorative gratitude, not the kind used to avoid reality, not the forced smile of someone pretending that pain does not exist. Stoic gratitude is more serious. It begins with the recognition that being alive is not an entitlement. You did not create this morning. You did not command your heart to keep beating through the night. You did not sign a contract guaranteeing another day. You opened your eyes. That fact is ordinary only because it happens often. It is not ordinary in itself. Life is fragile. We avoid this truth because it disturbs our illusion of control. We make plans as if time belongs to us. We postpone apologies. We delay meaningful work. We treat people with impatience. We save our attention for a future moment that may never arrive. Then, an unexpected event exposes the truth. A diagnosis changes a family. An accident interrupts a routine. A loss makes yesterday look precious. A single phone call divides life into before and after. You do not need to live in fear of these possibilities. Fear is not the lesson. Awareness is the lesson. The Stoics reflected on mortality because they wanted to live more honestly. They understood that when you remember life is limited, resentment becomes less attractive. Vanity becomes less convincing. Small irritations lose some of their authority. You begin to see the morning differently. You are not merely waking up to another list of tasks. You are receiving another opportunity to practice courage, patience, restraint, work, affection, and truth. That is why your first sentence should be direct. I am grateful to be here. Say it before you check your phone. Say it before you review your problems. Say it before you decide whether the day is good or bad. Do not wait to feel grateful. Feelings often arrive after attention. Direct your mind toward what is present, and emotion may follow. Start with the body. Take 3 slow breaths. Do not force them. Let the inhale be steady. Let the exhale be longer. Feel the weight of your body where you are. Notice the chest rising. Notice that breath is happening now, not yesterday and not tomorrow. Place a hand over your heart if that helps you reconnect with the physical reality of being alive. Then say, I am grateful to be here. You are not saying that everything is perfect. You are saying that life is still available. There is a difference. You may be carrying debt. You may be grieving. Your work may feel uncertain. A relationship may be strained. Your mind may be tired. Gratitude does not erase these facts. It changes the position from which you face them. Without gratitude, the mind often begins from deficiency. It says, something is missing, so I cannot be steady. It says, when this problem is solved, then I will live. It says, when people treat me correctly, then I will become peaceful. This places your inner condition in the hands of external circumstances. Gratitude takes part of that power back. It says, I do not have everything, but I have this moment. It says, I am not free from difficulty, but I still have the capacity to choose my response. It says, my life is incomplete, but it is not worthless. That is emotional resilience. Resilience is not constant confidence. It is the ability to remain in contact with what still matters when life shows you what is missing. A grateful person is not blind. A grateful person sees the full picture. They see the pain, but they also see the remaining strength. They see the loss, but they also see the lesson. They see uncertainty, but they also see the next available action. This is practical. It affects how you move through the day. When you begin from lack, every delay feels personal. Traffic becomes an insult. A slow response becomes rejection. A mistake becomes proof that your life is failing. The smallest inconvenience enters a mind already prepared for conflict. When you begin from gratitude, you have more space. You still dislike the delay. You still correct the mistake. You still address the problem, but you do not immediately turn discomfort into catastrophe. Gratitude creates distance between an event and your interpretation. That distance is valuable. It allows you to say, this is inconvenient, but it is not the whole of my life. It allows you to remember that one difficult hour does not cancel the gift of the day. You become more careful with your attention. You become less willing to spend the morning arguing with strangers on a screen. You become less eager to carry resentment into every conversation. You understand that your energy is limited and should be placed where it can create something useful. This is where gratitude becomes discipline. It is easy to say you value life. The real proof appears in how you use your hours. Gratitude without action becomes sentiment. Action without gratitude becomes pressure. You need both. Each morning, after you say, "I am grateful to be here," choose one way to honor the day. It may be finishing a task you have avoided. It may be calling someone you have neglected. It may be eating with more awareness. It may be stepping outside and feeling the air without looking at a screen. It may be refusing to complain during the first hour of the morning. Keep it small and real. The mind learns through repetition. When gratitude is repeatedly connected to conduct, it becomes part of your identity. You stop treating appreciation as a mood. You begin treating it as a way of seeing, and the person who sees clearly is harder to manipulate. Advertising has less power over someone who knows what is enough. Comparison has less power over someone who recognizes what is already present. Anxiety has less power when the mind is anchored in the reality of this breath, this body, this responsibility, and this chance. So tomorrow morning, do not begin with the question, "What do I have to face?" Begin with the statement, "I am grateful to be here." Then face the day from there. Number 2, yesterday does not own me. The second discipline is release. Many people wake up in the morning, but psychologically they remain inside yesterday. The body has rested. The calendar has changed. The light outside is new. Yet the mind is still sitting in an old conversation, an old mistake, an old humiliation, or an old disappointment. This is how the past continues without permission. You replay what you said. You imagine what you should have said. You return to the expression on someone's face. You examine the message again. You rebuild the scene as if repetition will produce a different ending. It will not. Reflection can teach you. Repetition without purpose only exhausts you. The Stoic mind does not refuse to examine the past. It examines it with discipline. It asks what is useful, extracts the lesson, and refuses to worship the wound. That distinction is essential. If you ignore your mistakes, you remain immature. If you become your mistakes, you remain imprisoned. The correct position is responsibility without self-destruction. That is why the second sentence is, "Yesterday does not own me." This does not mean yesterday has no consequences. A poor decision may require repair. A broken promise may require an apology. A neglected responsibility may require difficult work. The Stoic does not use letting go as an excuse to escape accountability. Release is not denial. Release means you stop confusing punishment with progress. You do what can still be done. You repair what can still be repaired. You learn what can still be learned. Then you stop feeding the illusion that endless regret is a noble form of responsibility. Regret often feels productive because it is painful. But pain alone is not proof of growth. You can suffer for years and remain unchanged. Growth begins when the lesson becomes behavior. Suppose you lost your temper yesterday. You spoke harshly. You embarrassed someone or damaged trust. There are two unhelpful reactions. The first is defensiveness. You blame the other person. You minimize what happened. You protect your ego and learn nothing. The second is self-condemnation. You call yourself terrible. You replay the moment. You use shame as evidence that you care, but you still do not change your conduct. The disciplined response is different. You admit the error. You apologize without excuses. You identify the trigger. You decide how you will pause next time. Then you return to the present. That is what it means to use the past without allowing the past to use you. Your identity must remain larger than your worst moment. You are not only what happened to you. You are not only what you did under pressure. You are also the person who can observe, correct, rebuild, and choose again. This ability to choose again is one of the greatest forms of human dignity. Do not give it away. Sometimes yesterday's weight does not come from your own behavior. It comes from what someone did to you. A betrayal, a rejection, a careless remark. A long period of being treated as if your needs did not matter. These experiences can remain active in the nervous system. The event ends, but the body still prepares for it. You enter new situations expecting the old injury. You interpret neutral behavior through the lens of past pain. This is understandable. But what is understandable can still become destructive. You must be patient with the wound and firm with the pattern. You do not command yourself to get over it. That is often cruel and unrealistic. Instead, you begin to say, "This happened. It affected me. I may still need time, support, boundaries, or healing. But it does not receive permanent authority over my character. Yesterday does not own me." This sentence creates separation. The event is part of your history. It is not the ruler of your future. There may be mornings when you do not believe this sentence. Say it carefully anyway, not as a lie, but as a direction. The mind often needs a direction before it can create a new emotional reality. Use a simple exercise. Before you leave the bed, identify one thing from yesterday that you are still carrying. Name it without drama. The conversation, the mistake, the disappointment, the fear. Then ask 3 questions. What happened? What is mine to correct? What must I now release? Keep the answers brief. The first question protects you from distortion. The second protects you from avoidance. The third protects you from obsession. If there is an action to take, write it down. Make the call. Send the apology. Correct the work. Set the boundary. Ask for help. If there is no action available, continuing to replay the event is not problem solving. It is self-torment. At that point, your task is to return. Return to the breath. Return to the room. Return to the responsibility in front of you. Return to the person you want to be today. You do not need to be permanently defined by an old version of yourself. You may have been inconsistent. You can practice consistency now. You may have avoided responsibility. You can take responsibility now. You may have lived for approval. You can act from principle now. You may have allowed fear to decide. You can take one brave step now. Transformation rarely arrives as a dramatic event. It appears in the repeated refusal to continue an old pattern. The person you become is built through these small separations. Yesterday I reacted. Today I pause. Yesterday I delayed. Today I begin. Yesterday I abandoned myself. Today I remain present. This is not perfection. It is direction. At the end of each morning reflection, say the sentence once more. Yesterday does not own me. Then prove it with one action the old version of you would have avoided. That is how release becomes strength. Number 3, I govern my mind. The third discipline is self-command. The modern world is built to enter your mind before you examine what it is placing there. Notifications create urgency. Headlines provoke fear. Images provoke comparison. Comments provoke anger. Algorithms learn what keeps you emotionally activated, then offer you more of it. If you do not train your attention, someone else will profit from directing it. This is not a conspiracy. It is a practical reality. Your attention has value. What holds your attention influences your emotional state. Your emotional state influences your choices. Your choices, repeated over time, shape your life. That is why mental discipline is not an abstract philosophy. It is protection. The Stoics made a crucial distinction between what is within our influence and what is not. You do not control the existence of the storm. You control whether you sail without preparation. You do not control another person's words. You control whether those words become the center of your day. You do not control the first appearance of every thought. You control whether you feed it, obey it, investigate it, or let it pass. This leads to the third morning sentence. I govern my mind. Notice the wording. It does not say, I control every thought. That would be unrealistic. Thoughts arise from memory, fear, habit, biology, and association. Some are useful. Some are absurd. Some are painful. Some arrive without invitation. Self-command does not mean preventing every unwanted thought. It means refusing to treat every thought as an order. A thought can appear without becoming your identity. An emotion can rise without becoming your behavior. An impulse can be strong without becoming your decision. This is one of the most important truths you can practice. Imagine you wake with anxiety. The mind says, something will go wrong. Most people immediately enter the thought. They search for evidence. They review every possible threat. The body tightens. The breathing becomes shallow. Soon the mind takes its own fear as proof that danger is near. A disciplined response begins with observation. An anxious thought is present. That sentence is different from, my life is in danger. You create distance. Then ask, is this a fact? Is this a prediction? Is there an action required now? If there is an action, take it calmly. If there is no action, return to what is real. Your feet on the floor. Your breath. The next task. The person in front of you. This is not avoidance. It is refusing to spend energy on imaginary emergencies. You can practice this for 1 minute every morning. Sit upright. Let your hands rest. Breathe in slowly. Exhale without forcing. Observe what appears, a plan, a fear, a memory, a criticism. Do not argue with each thought. Do not chase it. Name it, then let it move. Planning. Worry. Comparison. Anger. This simple act teaches you that awareness is larger than mental noise. You are not required to enter every room your mind opens. Some doors lead nowhere useful. Mental control also requires accepting that feelings will not always cooperate. You may understand the philosophy and still feel angry. You may breathe slowly and still feel afraid. You may repeat the sentence and still feel distracted. This does not mean the practice failed. The goal is not immediate emotional obedience. The goal is behavioral integrity. You can feel anger and still speak carefully. You can feel fear and still take the next useful step. You can feel tired and still keep one important promise. You can feel uncertain and still refuse to lie. This is real self-command. Many people believe strength means feeling powerful. The Stoics understood that strength often means acting correctly while feeling weak. Your emotions are part of the situation. They are not the final authority. This skill grows through repetition. Each time you pause before reacting, you strengthen it. Each time you question a fearful thought, you strengthen it. Each time you place the phone down and return to your work, you strengthen it. Each time you choose truth over the comfort of an excuse, you strengthen it. Mental resilience is built in these ordinary moments. You do not need a dramatic test to practice Stoicism. The test is already present. The delayed reply, the rude driver, the difficult colleague, the uncomfortable task, the urge to escape into distraction, the temptation to complain. The mind says, react now. Your discipline says, observe first. That pause may last only a few seconds, but it can prevent hours of regret. Make this practical by choosing one mental rule each morning. Today, I will not answer in anger. Today, I will complete one task before checking social media. Today, I will not turn assumptions into facts. Today, I will not complain about what I can correct. Today, I will not give a stranger control over my mood. One rule is enough. Do not create a complicated system that collapses by noon. Choose one clear standard and keep it visible. When you fail, return without drama. This matters because perfectionism is another form of lost control. You make one mistake, then use it as permission to abandon the whole day. You check the phone too early, so you continue scrolling. You react badly, so you decide the morning is ruined. You break the plan, so you stop trying. The Stoic response is immediate return. No performance, no self-hatred, no excuse. You notice, you correct, you continue. A trained mind is not a mind that never wanders. It is a mind that returns more quickly. Your progress can be measured by the speed of your return. At first, a fearful thought may control 3 hours. Later, it controls 30 minutes, then 5 minutes. Then you notice it almost immediately. The thought may still appear, but its authority decreases. That is growth. Before the day begins, say, I govern my mind, then remember what that means. I choose what I feed. I examine what I believe. I pause before I respond. I return when I lose direction. I act from principle even when emotion is loud. The world can make demands. It cannot command your character without your participation. Number 4, kindness is my strength. The fourth discipline is virtue in human relationships. Kindness is often misunderstood. Some people confuse it with weakness. They imagine the kind person as someone who avoids conflict, tolerates disrespect, says yes to everything, and sacrifices truth to remain liked. That is not kindness. That is fear wearing a pleasant expression. Stoic kindness has a spine. It does not need applause. It does not manipulate. It does not flatter. It does not abandon boundaries. It does not pretend harmful behavior is acceptable. It is the disciplined choice to remain humane without surrendering judgment. That is why the fourth sentence is, kindness is my strength. You will meet people who are impatient, insecure, careless, defensive, arrogant, or wounded. Sometimes you will be that person. The Stoic begins from a realistic view of human nature. People act from limited understanding. They are moved by fear, habit, desire, ego, and pain. This does not remove responsibility, but it helps you respond with clarity. When you forget that people are imperfect, every flaw feels like a personal betrayal. When you remember it, you become less surprised and more prepared. Preparation allows you to choose virtue. Suppose someone speaks to you with disrespect. Kindness does not require you to smile and accept it. You may say, I am willing to discuss this, but not in that tone. You may end the conversation. You may create distance. You may refuse further access. The kindness lies in refusing unnecessary cruelty. It lies in protecting dignity without trying to destroy the other person. A weak response may be submission. Another weak response may be revenge. The strong response is firm, proportionate, and clean. You do not add humiliation. You do not collect an audience. You do not attack their deepest insecurity because you know where to aim. You address the behavior. You protect the boundary. You leave with your character intact. This is harder than aggression. Aggression often requires only impulse. Kindness under pressure requires control. It asks you to feel the heat without becoming the fire. It asks you to tell the truth without using truth as a weapon. It asks you to remain capable of compassion without becoming available for abuse. That balance is a form of mastery. Begin the morning by choosing one act of deliberate kindness, not random politeness, something specific. Listen without interrupting. Thank someone whose effort is usually ignored. Send a message to a person who may be isolated. Speak patiently to someone who cannot offer you status. Give full attention during one conversation. Correct someone privately instead of embarrassing them publicly. Forgive a minor inconvenience without announcing your forgiveness. These acts are small, but they train identity. You become what you repeatedly practice. If you practice contempt, contempt becomes natural. If you practice irritation, irritation becomes quick. If you practice attention, restraint, and generosity, they become more available under pressure. This is why morning intention matters. You decide before the encounter. When the difficult person appears, you are not inventing your values in the moment. You are remembering the value you already chose. Kindness also changes the way you interpret behavior. A delayed reply may not be rejection. A short tone may not be disrespect. A distracted expression may not be judgment. People carry invisible burdens, invisible, illness, financial fear, grief, family conflict, exhaustion, insecurity, and private disappointment often enter the room before they speak. You do not know the full story. That uncertainty should make you slower to condemn. This does not mean creating excuses for every harmful act. It means separating observation from imagination. You know what the person did. You may not know why. Respond to what is clear. Remain humble about what is hidden. This protects you from taking everything personally. Much emotional suffering comes from assigning yourself a central role in another person's behavior. They ignored me because I am not respected. They were quiet because they are angry with me. They succeeded because life is unfair to me. The mind creates a story, then suffers inside the story. Kindness interrupts this. It says, I will not assume the worst without evidence. It says, I can protect myself without inventing hatred. It says, I can see another person's humanity without handing them control of my peace. Kindness and discipline are not opposites. At their highest level, they support each other. Kindness without discipline becomes enabling. Discipline without kindness becomes brutality. Together, they create strength that is both human and reliable. There will be days when kindness is not rewarded. Someone may mistake patience for weakness. Someone may take your good intention for granted. Someone may continue behaving poorly. Do not make virtue dependent on applause. You are kind because of the person you choose to be, not because the world always responds correctly. Results matter, but they do not define the value of every action. You can offer respect and still be rejected. You can speak honestly and still be misunderstood. You can set a fair boundary and still be called selfish. Your task is not to control every interpretation. Your task is to keep your conduct aligned with principle. This is freedom from approval. It does not make you cold. It makes you stable. At the start of the day, say, kindness is my strength. Then add a second sentence. I will be gentle without becoming weak and firm without becoming cruel. Carry that balance into your conversations. Pause before the sharp reply. Lower your voice when the room becomes louder. Tell the necessary truth without adding poison. Notice the person who is usually ignored. And when you fail, extend the same disciplined kindness to yourself. Correct. Repair. Continue. A calm presence changes a room because it refuses to multiply chaos. Become that presence, not to impress people, not to appear spiritual, not to gain moral superiority. Do it because the world already contains enough unconscious harm. Your character does not need to add more. Number 5. This moment is my life. The fifth discipline is presence. Life is not experienced in the past or the future. Memory happens now. Planning happens now. Regret happens now. Anxiety happens now. Even when your mind travels, your life remains located in the present moment. Yet, many people spend years preparing to arrive somewhere else. They tell themselves they will begin living when the money improves, when the body changes, when the relationship becomes easier, when the work is recognized, when the children grow, when the pressure ends. But pressure changes form. One problem leaves and another appears. One goal is reached and another takes its place. If you make peace dependent on the absence of difficulty, peace will remain delayed. The Stoic does not wait for life to become still. The Stoic learns to stand still within life. This is why the fifth sentence is, "This moment is my life." Not the entire story. Not the only moment that matters, but the only moment in which you can act. You cannot practice courage tomorrow. You can plan to practice it, but the actual practice will occur in a present moment. You cannot repair yesterday inside yesterday. You repair its consequences now. You cannot love someone later. Love becomes real through the attention, patience, honesty, and action you offer now. Presence is not a pleasant idea. It is the location of responsibility. When you leave the present mentally, you often leave your power with it. The mind moves into the future and creates threats. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if this never improves? These questions may point to real concerns, but they become harmful when they repeat without leading to action. Bring the future back to the present. What can I do now? Prepare one document. Make one call. Save one amount. Have one honest conversation. Study for one focused period. Take one walk. Ask for one form of support. The future is influenced through present conduct, not through endless prediction. The mind also moves into the past. I should have known. I wasted too much time. I was better before. Again, return. What does this memory ask me to do now? Learn? Apologize? Grieve? Release? Begin again? If there is no present action, the mind is simply using history to avoid life. Presence cuts through this. It asks less about the story and more about the next honest step. This moment is my life. Say it during ordinary activities. While drinking water, while walking to the car, while listening to someone, while washing a dish, while beginning difficult work. You do not need every moment to feel profound. The point is not to create a dramatic experience. The point is to stop being absent from your own existence. Much of life is ordinary. Meals, commuting, cleaning, waiting, working, listening, repeating necessary tasks. If you refuse to be present during ordinary life, you refuse most of life. You may spend years waiting for exceptional moments and discover that your days were built from moments you considered too small to notice. Presence restores value to the ordinary. The taste of food, morning light on a wall, the voice of someone you love, the feeling of tiredness after honest effort, the quiet after a difficult decision. These things do not need to be posted, measured, or admired. They are part of being alive. Attention allows you to receive them. The Stoic practice of remembering mortality is useful here. It is not meant to make you obsessed with death. It is meant to remove the arrogance of postponement. You do not have unlimited mornings. Neither do the people around you. This should change the quality of your attention. When someone you love speaks, listen. When you leave home, do not assume every goodbye is insignificant. When your body allows you to move, use it with gratitude. When you have work to do not treat the opportunity to contribute as a meaningless burden. You do not need to become sentimental. You need to become awake. there is a difference between urgency and presence. Urgency says, everything must happen now. Presence says, this is what is happening now. Urgency tightens. Presence clarifies. Urgency attempts to control the whole future at once. Presence asks for the next right action. Your day may contain 10 problems. You can only address one at a time. Your mind may carry 20 concerns. You can only examine one at a time. Your life may include many roles. You can only inhabit the current moment. When you are with your family, be with your family. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. When you grieve, grieve without shame. When you decide, decide. Fragmented attention creates a fragmented life. Presence gathers you. Presence also improves judgment. When you are fully here, you notice more. You notice tension before it becomes an outburst. You notice fatigue before it becomes collapse. You notice dishonesty before it becomes a pattern. You notice another person's discomfort before they need to shout. You notice that a decision does not align with your values. Absence makes you late to your own life. Presence allows earlier correction. This is why peace is not merely a feeling, it is a way of paying attention. A peaceful mind does not require a silent world. It requires the ability to remain in contact with reality without adding unnecessary mental noise. The traffic is slow. That is the fact. My entire day is ruined is an addition. The person disagreed. That is the fact. They have no respect for me and everyone is against me may be an addition. The plan changed. That is the fact. Nothing ever works for me is an addition. Presence separates reality from the story. This does not make life easy. It makes life clear. Clear pain is easier to carry than confused pain. When you know what happened, what you feel, and what you can do, suffering becomes more workable. When stories multiply, suffering expands beyond the event. Use the fifth sentence to return. This moment is my life. Then ask, what is true now? What is required now? What can be appreciated now? These three questions create a complete posture. Truth prevents denial. Duty prevents passivity. Appreciation prevents bitterness. You need all three. A person who focuses only on appreciation may avoid necessary action. A person who focuses only on duty may become hard and exhausted. A person who focuses only on truth may become cynical. Together, they create a mature form of presence. See clearly, act correctly, receive what is still good. This is the practice. And when the moment is painful, do not demand that it become pleasant before you accept that it exists. Acceptance is not approval. It is the end of arguing with reality. You may hate what happened and still say, this is what I must face. You may wish circumstances were different and still ask, what does virtue require from me here? That question returns dignity to difficulty. You may not have chosen the event. You still participate in the response. This moment is your life because this moment contains your choice. Do not waste it trying to inhabit a time that does not exist. The deeper turn. Your morning is a vote for your character. These 5 sentences are not magic. They will not prevent loss. They will not guarantee success. They will not make every person respect you. They will not remove every anxious thought or make discipline effortless. Their purpose is more honest. They help you return to what is yours. Your attention, your judgment, your response, your conduct, your willingness to begin again. This is the heart of practical Stoicism. You stop asking life to become easy enough for you to be strong. You train strength for the life that already exists. Each morning becomes a small vote. When you say, I am grateful to be here, you vote against entitlement and unconscious complaint. When you say, "Yesterday does not own me," you vote against shame, obsession, and emotional captivity. When you say, "I govern my mind," you vote against distraction, impulsive reaction, and mental surrender. When you say, "Kindness is my strength," you vote against cruelty, ego, and weakness disguised as aggression. When you say, "This moment is my life," you vote against postponement, absence, and the fantasy that living begins later. One vote does not create a character. Repeated votes do. This is why the morning matters. You are not merely preparing a schedule. You are rehearsing identity. You are deciding what you will remember when pressure arrives. Because pressure will arrive. The person who irritates you will not ask whether you completed your reflection. The unexpected expense will not care about your plan. Fatigue will not politely wait for motivation. Life will test the philosophy in ordinary, inconvenient moments. That is where the words must become behavior. Gratitude becomes refusing to ruin the day over a delay. Release becomes apologizing and moving forward. Mental command becomes placing the phone down. Kindness becomes setting a boundary without hatred. Presence becomes listening while someone speaks. These are small acts. But a life is made of small acts performed under repeated conditions. You may dream of becoming calm, disciplined, respected, and free. Those qualities do not arrive as a new personality. They are built through decisions that often feel unimpressive. Getting out of bed when you said you would. Keeping your voice steady. Completing the task. Refusing the unnecessary argument. Telling the truth. Returning after failure. These choices create self-trust. Self-trust is not built by telling yourself that you are powerful. It is built by witnessing yourself act according to principle. Every kept promise becomes evidence. Every honest correction becomes evidence. Every controlled response becomes evidence. Over time, the mind begins to believe, "I can rely on myself." That belief is stronger than temporary motivation. It is grounded in conduct. Return to gratitude. Return to release. Return to command. Return to kindness. Return to presence. Your life will not be transformed by one perfect morning. It will be shaped by thousands of ordinary returns. Closing. Begin before the world begins for you tomorrow morning. There will be a brief silence. It may last only a few seconds. Protect it. Before the screen lights up, remember that your mind is not public property. Before yesterday speaks, remember that the past is a teacher, not an owner. Before fear predicts the day, remember that a thought is not a command. Before conflict appears, remember that kindness can be firm. Before time begins moving quickly, remember that this moment is where your life is happening. Say the 5 sentences slowly. I am grateful to be here. Yesterday does not own me. I govern my mind. Kindness is my strength. This moment is my life. Then stand up and live in a way that gives those words meaning. Do not wait for a different personality. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait until you feel ready. Readiness often comes after movement. Begin with the next action. Make the bed. Drink the water. Open the document. Take the walk. Offer the apology. Set the boundary. Finish the work. Speak with respect. Return to the breath. The philosophy becomes yours only when it enters your conduct. If this message helped you see your mornings differently, like the video and subscribe to El Gran Estoico. Continue walking with this community as we turn ancient principles into daily strength. And in the comments, write, "A partir de hoje sou uma nova pessoa." Add your country and your city or region. Let that comment become a public marker of a private decision. You are not promising that you will never fail again. You are declaring that failure will no longer be the end of your effort. You are not claiming that the past disappeared. You are deciding that it will not rule the present. You are not saying the world became quiet. You are choosing to become more deliberate inside the noise. That is how a new person begins, not through a dramatic announcement, through a different response, through a kept promise, through one morning used well. The day is already coming. Meet it awake.